Okay, we ready then?
Johnny Vaughan. Radio.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 Thang podcast. Thank you so much for downloading it. What I want you to do is just press pause now. Well, not yet, because you won't get the rest of the instructions. After I finish saying this bit, I want you to text a friend. I've just downloaded the Johnny Vaughan podcast.
And subscribed.
And subscribed. You should do the same. Pass it on.
Yeah.
Pass it on.
Yeah, pause now and do that.
Think of it as a pyramid scheme.
Otherwise we won't go on.
Pyramid scheme without any problems.
But the thing is, I've got sound sensitive software now listening to you on your whatever your device is. So now I'll know, and it won't go on if you don't do that because it'll hear the buttons. All right, I was lying. I've got El King, barbecue etiquette, the most exciting promotional campaign ever, and squirrels.
Woo!
But do that thing I was speaking about with the
definitely.
subscribe thing. Definitely do that. I haven't really got sound. I'm not listening to you at all. I haven't got loud sound.
Can't we send little electric shocks to them if they don't subscribe?
I can do that. Yeah, I've got
Okay,
that
fine,
technology.
yeah,
But I
let's do
can't listen to them. I can electrocute people remotely.
Electrocution apps.
Yeah, I've got several apps. I've got a rendition app. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it just renditions people. It's like EasyJet, but it's not that easy. It's like hard jet. Yeah. Uneasy jet.
Difficult jet.
Yeah, it's very uneasy. Gav, you're a big barbecue man.
Yes, I like barbecue.
Did you have one over the weekend?
I didn't this weekend, no, because I'm not living in my house. I'm living in a flat.
Okay.
And in fact, living in a block of flats in very hot weather really reminds me of being on holiday.
And of course, flats with no outside space, not good for barbecuing.
No.
Unless you're like really antisocial.
Just do it on the balcony.
On the corridor.
There is no corridor.
Oh man, if you just did it there anyway.
The carpet tiles don't like hot embers.
No, they don't.
No.
Sunta, what about you? Are you big on barbecue?
Yeah, I was at a barbecue yesterday.
Were you?
I had some barbecued halloumi.
Okay, Sunta, here's the question. First question before I reveal my barbecue tip.
Go on.
How many do you need before you get barbecuing? Because sometimes, if it's just me and the kids, sometimes the whole palaver, and then I just shove on
Not worth it for three people.
And I'll try a little selection of meats, but it just doesn't feel like that was worth it for the ag and ash.
Yeah, that's true.
So what is the critical barbecue number? I'll tell you this. What do you think is the 83936? If you can tell me the critical barbecue number, I can tell you now there is a barbecue factor I worked out, which is if you wanted to. When I was 40, I wanted just to get 15 mates together for a barbecue.
Yeah.
I didn't invite you.
No.
And because I remember the wedding thing.
Yeah.
And there was a phone there. And there will be an inquiry in the next record. Because Big Si's giving me that look.
Did the meerkat head.
Judge Si presiding. Seriously. It was that look that they do in 2000 AD, which means pity the perp.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, and I realised I wanted to just have. I wrote down a list of 15 mates because I just thought, okay, well that's it. That's about what I can take here.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, they got wives. That's 30.
Yeah.
2 kids each. I'm up to 60.
Yeah.
A bit more. So the barbecue factor is about, I worked out, it's about 4.2 per mate.
Right.
You got to multiply every friend by 4.2 to get numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta
Once you get to mine, because you got each one comes with another 3 people, and some people have more kids. So you really just have a barbecue with 15 mates.
Yeah.
You're looking at 64 people.
Yes, you are. Yeah. That's
Bit more.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you got to do? Just do 2 mates.
No, what you do is what I did, is you lie that you wait till your missus is going out, or he's taking kids off for a weekend.
Yeah.
Or you lie you're going off to play golf, something that no one wants to hear about.
Yes.
And what I did then is the lads then just all arrived at my house in golf gear.
Without
having all told their missus they were off to play golf. And then we missed out on 4 hours of crap golf.
That's brilliant.
And we were just all barbecuing at my house in golf gear with all the golf clubs stacked up by the door. Genius.
That is genius.
It is genius. All you need is a house that no one's going to... And I tell you, and also loose lips sink ships, because one of the lads, unfortunately, broke ranks. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you the top barbecue tip.
I thought that was your tip.
Okay, no. Here's my...
Pretend you're going golfing.
No, here's my top barbecue tip. Do you know the secret to the perfect barbecue lies not in the quality of food, but in what?
The wood.
The ash, the coals,
Yeah.
the
No.
fire,
No,
The
this
barbecue.
is scientists at Oxford have discovered this. What do you think it is?
barbecue sauce.
No, red plates.
Really?
If
Why?
you serve, they just surveyed it. They said barbecue served on red plates, the food will taste spicier if it's spicier, juicier and meatier if it's meatier. Psychologically, a red plate will improve a barbecue. But then, do you know what I notice?
What?
That study was commissioned by Hellmann's, which of course looks very good on a red plate.
Yes, it does.
Unlike ketchup, which always looks kind of
course.
crap on a red plate. So there's a bit of an angle there. Could be one for the Fuji. Sunta.
So this is from Paul in Wolves, and he's kind of going down the line of the more the merrier. Barbecue numbers: 10 lads plus partners plus kids, 25 to 30. That's a great night.
His maths are wrong. The critical barbecue thing's 4.2. You take you add up the mates, and you multiply by 4.2. That's your
Right.
barbecue number. I'm sorry. It just says you're not. 20,
I think Sam's right. I think location depends on it.
Okay,
too.
go on.
He says critical barbecue mass depends on location. If it's at home, 5. If it's in a park or a beach, it could be as low as 2. Also, if it's disposable.
yeah. It's at a car park.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the best one. Well, it's not the best one. It's just
hard
like,
shoulder.
Here's just occasionally you get a text in, and you just think, God, I admire you. You really are a man. Okay, you ready for this?
Go
This
on.
is from Russell Smith, Rusty Boy 7 in Scotland. He says, being from Scotland, as soon as the rain's off, it's barbecue time. He says, I had a barbecue at lunch at work with one other person. Clap him in, guys.
Brilliant. I hope he works in an office.
I do.
Radio X.
Okay, I'm afraid the red squirrel has a new woe. It's getting leprosy.
What?
Yeah, it's got leprosy.
Oh,
I know.
They're already having a tough time.
Poor old Squirrel Nutkin, this piece starts. I don't think they need being patronised at a time like this. They're getting leprosy. Well, it's patronised.
rough,
It's
isn't
just
it?
to be typecast. After being driven out of his home by migrants. Now, what I liked about this is I'm always going about how they like to put political agendas in nature stories and things like caterpillars coming in from wherever. And
Spanish bluebells.
Spanish bluebells and invaded by Europe. But that's really Route 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, poor old Squirrel Nutkins, after being driven out of his home by migrants.
The grey squirrel they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grey squirrel was brought here by an English aristocrat who just had them say, oh, look, grey squirrels, aren't they fun? And they took over.
That was quite a
But-
long time ago. though.
1870s it was.
Well, wait, you're going to have Gav's Nature Special in a second. It's going to be fantastic. But it's been revealed that Britain's surviving colonies of native red squirrels are infected with leprosy, I'm afraid. Now, I've always thought, and I've bought into this but, it's a completely wrong notion that red squirrels have been driven out by grey squirrels, and it's grey squirrels that have affected them, and they're the baddie.
Yeah.
Because obviously, but that's wrong. That's because years ago, actually, someone tried to mythologise that they came from Germany during the war. So it was like one of those, the grey squirrel, the German squirrel was invaded, and that's where it came from. But do you know what? Gav is going to tell us if it's true or false. And Gav now, in a Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing, break with tradition, Gav is now going to do our first wildlife special.
The grey squirrels are native to North America
There we
and not
go.
Germany.
Okay.
They were brought for the first time into the UK in 1876 in Henbury Park, Cheshire.
Okay.
It's not clear why they were introduced, but yes, they were brought over as...
They liked exotic
Yeah.
pests, Victorian times.
The reason for the uprise in grey squirrels and the decline in red squirrels is because coniferous woodland has been retreating northwards with the climate and with the invasion of humans. So because there are less evergreen forests, which red squirrels love,
Yes.
and which is why they do still live
Because
in
they're
Scotland.
native to here, so that's where
Correct.
Okay.
The grey squirrels have no problem with deciduous forests, so they're happy all over England.
So what for years, I've always thought that literally grey squirrels form up in armies.
Yeah, and killed them all.
It's literally like the Romans invasion. They've literally driven all the ancient Britons just into Wales and Scotland. But in fact, no.
No. There was no organised fights in car parks. There was nothing like that.
There's not that element.
No. Absolutely. It's just the loss of their natural habitat,
Yeah.
which is our fault.
evergreen forests.
So it's human error. It's something to do with grey squirrels. We shouldn't, because...
Well, in both senses. We've driven away the evergreen forests, and
Yeah.
we've also introduced the grey squirrels. Yeah.
No, but my point is, I don't mind seeing grey squirrels. They're a nice bit of wildlife there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if is a red squirrel nicer to look. I've never seen a red squirrel.
But the red squirrels would have gone further north whether or not the grey squirrels were introduced.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, just with the trees anyway.
Yeah.
Good point, and nothing
Yes.
to do with them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, and that's why you're news department, because you just unravel the story, don't you? You can pick the story out the story. Has anyone seen a red squirrel ever?
Not
Ever?
Not
in real
knowingly.
life.
Have you ever seen? I've never seen a red squirrel ever.
No, I don't think I have either.
I've seen a kingfisher.
Have you?
Yeah, they're nice to see.
They're nice.
I mean, it's got nothing to do with squirrels, but I'm talking about these sort of rare, beautiful British things,
Yeah.
and I've never ever seen. But I have seen a kingfisher once, but I've never seen a red squirrel. Have you seen a red squirrel? A3. No. I'd be interested. Where's the nearest one?
Probably
Excuse me, mate.
Scotland.
Can you tell me where the nearest red squirrel is?
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
You know, I'm really anti-drones, and I fear a drone planet.
I didn't know that, but this
Yeah,
is
I know you're
becoming apparent.
anti-laser.
Okay, I don't like lasers. No, I'm really anti-lasers. I'm not a Luddite, incidentally. I just believe in progress, not its paradox. So I'm very anti them. But this is taking it too far. Are you ready?
Go on.
An angler who used a drone to hook a 20-kilo tuna has found fame after millions of armchair fishermen. I don't know what that is either. I just don't know what it is.
What's an armchair fisherman?
I don't know what an armchair fisherman is. I've heard of armchair warriors, which I
It
was
sounds
for a
like
while.
a Nintendo Wii thing, doesn't it?
Armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You get those. But an armchair fisherman, that's not even... Anyway, they've watched him haul in his catch on the internet. Can I say, like tuna haven't got enough problems.
Yeah, it's true.
It's getting to a stage where literally every tuna's got a name.
Yeah, restaurants are going to be serving drone-caught tuna
Yeah,
instead of line-caught.
drone-caught bluefin. Exactly. I mean, tuna is depleted. We know this.
Yes.
It's all they need now. I'll tell you what the guy did, and it's amazing. He says, a video posted by Brian Leal, spelled Bryon.
Bryon.
Yes, Brian. Sorry, I've got that wrong. It's Byron.
Okay, Byron.
Sorry, Byron Leal. He shows the drone flying out to sea at low level, locating a school of tuna, sending the pictures back to a smartphone on the beach. The drone drops a baited hook, which is attached to Mr. Leal's rod on the beach.
Oh, so it's not attached to the drone. Once it drops it, it's on his rod.
No. That's my point. Is he finds the tuna with the drone, and then the drone lowers the hook to literally where the tuna all are.
Pinpoint
That
accuracy.
seems a bit like cheating.
It
No, it's
does,
cheating. It's
yeah.
not when you go fishing with fish finders.
Or dynamite.
half the point of fishing is you don't know quite. You've got to use your instinct to think, where will the fish go?
Not knowing if you'll catch a fish is what
Yes.
makes it exciting.
Well, no, but also trying to you get these stages. I used to love fishing. Is where I suddenly realised I'm trying to think like a fish.
Aquaman.
No, but I've been trout fishing before, and I think to myself, okay, it's early evening. I'm a bit hungry.
Where's the deli part of this river?
A bit hungry. I know there's fishermen about. There was that loud guy there early, so I make a noise further down the bank. Then I quickly creep up, thinking, we'll avoid the noisy guy. I'll go up here. There's a nice willow just going into that, just a weeping willow going into the water, nice and shady.
A little bit of still water.
Probably some flies around. No one would think to go fishing there because they'll get the line caught.
You're like one of those CIA criminal profilers.
I am, but except they can think like I can just about think like a fish hunter. Yeah, I can just think like a fish. The John Vaughan technique.
Radio X.
Woodman, we have a guest.
We do. What a guest.
Would you please welcome Elle King?
Hi, Al. Thanks for coming.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much for coming in. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Are you on one of those? I mean, you must be travelling everywhere. Are you on one of those? I don't know. It's Wednesday kind of days.
Is that what day it is?
Yes. There you go.
We got there
You'd have to get up pretty early
in the afternoon.
Okay. And how confused and disorientated are you at this moment?
Usually I'm really good, but I've been cutting back on the caffeine, and so I'm not functioning that normally, I guess. Normally by this time I would still be like wired and probably just as energetic as you are.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I am, so this is pretty cool.
You say you're cutting back on caffeine. Was that a problem?
Honestly, if I could have an IV drip of Red Bull, I would.
Okay, listen. When was the first time you ever came to the UK?
I must have been around 21 or 22. I was on tour with a band called Train.
Okay, is it better now you're much more famous to come here? Is Britain better when you're famous?
Am I famous here? I don't know.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, because at the BAFTAs, no one knew who I was. And
Really?
so-
Yeah, but to be fair, you didn't know what the BAFTAs were.
this is true. How'd you
Yeah.
know that?
Because, I'm just really in the loop. I'm just,
Okay,
I'm
that's true.
like Mr. Showbiz.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was.
Yeah,
but,
so you can't really get
but
it
that's
there.
common. That happens a lot with me in my life. So I just,
Great thing for you to blast the BAFTAs for not knowing who you were when you didn't know what they were. Genius.
That is brilliant.
There's no
it's
hypocrite
fair.
like a happy hypocrite. No. You after Glastonbury, yeah?
Yeah.
Did that mean anything to you before Glastonbury? I mean, when did it first enter your consciousness? I'm not sure how big it is in America. If it,
Well, I've
if
always-
it looms like an annual Woodstock or whatever.
It's one of the biggest festivals, and everybody wants to go. And I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of festivals, and I've been going for a long time. So when I started to get to play them, it was always really exciting. And my fiance is from the UK, and so it's like the coolest thing in the world that I'm playing. And so I think that
He's
means-
Scottish, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Can I ask how you met now? Because Scots people, obviously,
We met in London, and
classic.
I in my hotel, and he basically was like, "Hey, if I tell you that I like your music, will you not want to talk to me?" And I was like,
And you could understand him, okay?
barely.
I was going to say, there's got a language
I was
barrier.
just assuming that he was complimenting
You
me.
could make out
Yeah.
a sort of a
Yeah.
meaning from the words.
Just like how I am with you
Yes,
right now.
yes, yeah.
And the next,
You can pick out the, sort
Yeah.
of the thread.
Exactly.
Exactly right, yeah.
but the next day I really liked him, and I didn't get on my flight, and I stayed in London.
Did
and-
you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's romantic.
Yeah.
Was he very drunk when you met him or later?
No. Later. But yeah, and then we just kind of fell totally in love with each other, and he quit his job 2 days later and came to America and
Quit his job.
yeah, and then he proposed that week.
Wow.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah,
Where's he from in Scotland?
Glasgow.
Has he taken you to football yet? Have you been to see any fitba, as he would call it? You know, to
I'm
see
probably
a
gonna
fitba?
get in trouble, but like I'm just not interested. I know it's like the greatest thing. You know what? Let me try that again. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Now you're playing.
But he's a huge Rangers fan, and so for his birthday, I got him an American phone, and I now know a lot about the Rangers and their song "Simply the Best" is
Yeah,
what
they
they all
like
come
that.
out to.
Yeah, they do,
So
yeah.
I set that as the ringtone, and he just crying. He just like loves Rangers so much, and
Yeah.
live and die. I'm a close second
Right, okay.
to Rangers.
Would you please welcome Elle King?
Grammy nominated as well. That must be great.
Grammy
feeling,
nominated.
getting a nomination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I just got my. They give you a medal, so that everyone wins.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy thing, and I was like, man, I could get a lot of money if I sold this, but I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Did they have a camera on you when you lost?
They literally had a camera on me the entire show.
I know.
I had kind of I didn't watch the show, but I found out from everyone else like, no, they literally only showed you and your mother.
And what was give me your loser face?
I had a poker face all day because someone had ripped my gown on the red carpet. So I was
Kidding me? Who did that? Name names.
a band called Ghost.
Oh, man.
I'll find them. I'll rip their mask off.
Do you think it was malicious? Yeah, rip the mask off.
No, but how can you see anything with those masks on?
Just get hire Slipknot
Get
to
Slipknot.
take them out.
Yeah, put Slipknot up against them.
Okay.
Their masks are disgusting, aren't they?
They really are.
We went to see them the other week. I was still getting nightmares. My son was fun. Yeah, it's fun. When I lost, I was BAFTA nominated. When I lost, I couldn't hold it down.
Did you cry?
No, I just really hammed it up. I was like, no, no, and they just.
That's
and
a good idea.
And they really cut away from me. It was fantastic. The speakers went, "No, just get him off."
I had a
Spotlight,
plan
which-
for when the camera would cut to me. I was gonna pretend to be sleeping, but I was like, this is my first time that they let me into the Grammys. I'll like try and be nice.
I
but-
think to be sick into a bin is quite good.
Yeah.
You know,
That would be-
imagine
yeah.
I just caught your carriage with so nervous, a real big bath.
Yeah.
Okay, have you toured around Britain?
Yes.
And how many? I mean, how widely?
Wide.
I said how widely. Answer wide.
I've gone all over.
Do you notice the variations around the country? As you go around, can you notice how we're different in different places?
Yes. In
Okay.
Newcastle.
YA.
Oh my gosh, they have a language of their own there.
They really do.
Yeah,
Really
they do.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're going out with a Scotsman. It's not quite as... Which do you find harder to understand?
I don't understand any of you.
Okay. Which is the place that you really look kind of has the best vibe in there? I know it's a tricky question, but which is the one you really look forward to going to?
I love Manchester.
Okay, you say Manchester's a proper rock and roll town.
Yeah, mainly because probably my band, our favorite bar in the world is like this. It's like the devil's pit of
The devil's pit.
of danger.
What's
And
it called?
It's called Big Hands.
Big
Great
Hands.
bar.
It's amazing.
Sons used to live in Manchester.
It's
Awesome bar.
just like nothing good comes from there, but everything is amazing.
And it's one of those bars you go in any night, and because it's near a music venue, there's
Yeah.
always bands in there. There's
Okay.
always stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
When was the last time you hit someone?
What, with what instrument?
That is why you're class. No, it wasn't like thinking back to it. It's actually thinking back to actually the weapon rather than avoiding
Yeah.
the hit thing. When was the last time you hit someone with an object?
The last altercation I was in.
You're not the police.
Sounds like a police report.
The
Yeah.
last altercation I was involved with, officer. Yeah, go on.
It was 2 years ago on Willie Nelson's ranch.
Let's just clap that answer.
That is a great
The
answer.
best answer. I knew it was worth answering that question. I'd love to be able to say, if someone says, when was the last time you hit someone? Last time I hit someone was probably on Willie Nelson's ranch. It's one of the greatest answers of all time. You can take care of yourself
Yes.
because you're a rock and roll blues woman.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, Elle King, it's been absolutely lovely having you on the show.
Thank you.
Elle King, guys.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Random graffiti, seemingly meaningless. Random graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us, which you do? It all started with the word lager, written in large letters on a wall in Clapham Junction, which I saw random. Then you sent in your examples of odd and often meaningless graffiti. It is an organic item. You thought it up, not me. Sunts has seen something brilliant. We were joking about middle-class graffiti. Sunts, you've actually got a fantastic photograph. What does it say in that New York-style graffiti writing?
Quinoa.
Have you posted it?
I have posted it.
Well, go to Sunta's Twitter feed, which is...
Sunta Templeton. At Sunta Templeton.
It's at Sunta Templeton, and you'll be able to see quinoa. It made me laugh so much. I'm not encouraging people to get out there and do middle class things, but get out there and no, I'm not saying vandalise anything. I'm trying to think what's more middle class than quinoa.
Hail.
Someone put "I love my BMW estate."
Range Rover.
No, BMW estates, man. Come on. No, Volvo. Someone graffitiing Volvo. That's it, isn't it? Okay, we ready for this?
Yeah.
We've got some great random graffiti. On a fence in Worcester Park was written, "Where was you when I was here?" That's David Kingston. Dave, that's outstanding. Thank you. Sunta Templeton.
This one's coming from Lee in Bexley Heath. On the outside of the top deck, on the back window of a double-decker bus in dirt, was written, "Ain't I tall?"
And I just tall.
And I told.
Yeah, go on, Gav.
This was seen on Stuart's running route in Reading on a bus stop. You're what that smell is.
Man alive. That's
And
a
while
hall.
he's running as well.
No,
that's brilliant.
That's a Hall of Famer.
That is, yeah.
You're what that smell is.
It's nearly as good as I see bread people.
I see bread people on a Greg's lorry.
Yeah, brilliant.
Simon, I don't think I said sit on the counter. And just back off a bit as well. I don't like your knees pressing against my back. No, it's not. Get your feet down. Unbelievable. Sorry, little Simon. It's
Don't give him any sweets.
ever since he went walking in the Isle of Wight, he's come back all cocky.
All full of it. He found himself on the Isle of Wight.
I know it turned into literally like a scene of Deliverance there anyway with a local sailor.
Saturday night in
Okay.
that asbestos motel.
Yeah, right. It's actually called that. Random graffiti. My son and I were on a train, possibly London-Liverpool Street. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it said, get this graffiti.
I've just seen this.
Amazing graffiti. Ready? 2 pieces of chicken. That's it.
What?
I don't know. What the mind? It's seemingly meaningless.
It is
That's
random.
the point about random graffiti. Okay, this is what I'm going to do as well, just because I want to, because I think it's brilliant.
Go on.
No, I'm going to have it. Because I haven't had a good one for ages.
Go on.
A really good one. I mean, a Hall of Famer. You ready?
Go on.
Someone had spray painted. This is on a black bin in Bury. This comes from Rob, and it just said, "Ben cheats."
I think this is my favourite this week. From
Go on.
Adele, in my local park, carved in a tree, which is old school graffiti.
That's really old school.
Waffles cause nightmares.
Genius.
Do they?
Yeah, they probably do. Okay, here's one for you. Random graffiti written with a finger on a dirty window. Leanna smells. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed for all your
That was from Adam. Yeah.
And that was from Adam. Thank you so much for all your random graffiti. Keep them coming in. We'll have another stock next week. That was a good parade, that. But Ben cheats.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
Guys, here's the story. I obviously, like anyone who was raised on the Terminator,
Yes.
I'm always looking for the signs.
Oh, of Skynet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Matrix and all. I'm just looking for the sign, the rise of the machines. I'm always looking for it. I mean, I don't even use cash points.
Well, you're that scared of them.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You're a toll puddle
Yes.
martyr.
No, a Luddite.
A Luddite.
No, I won't use the automatic checkouts in shops. That could it could be just getting my details, my biomechanics.
Well, it might follow you home.
No, it just might target me as a threat.
Okay.
It might think I'm too sophisticated a human. Just the way I don't have to ask for help and stuff might mark me out.
It might be worried about your levels of artificial intelligence.
Yes, it might. Yes. Non-artificial intelligence. It could be threatening. Anyway, here's something that I think really poses a threat to everyone. Headline: Steamy novels teach robots how to be human. That set the alarms off. Yeah.
How did the novels turn into teachers?
Well, that's the point. Forcing thousands of trashy romantic novels on a sentient being would no doubt be classed as torture. Fortunately, the Google robots are fair game. Here's the deal. In an unusual experiment, I wouldn't use unusual, I'd say highly dangerous. Engineers have compelled the company's artificial intelligence to digest more than 1 million pages of steamy passion and, at worst, downright filth.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. They've got Eve Monroe's jacked up as one of them. What they're doing is they're forcing the robots to literally just take in the language of romantic novels.
Right.
And to make them, sort of, as it says, to be more human.
Do you think that will make them appear like they can, have more empathy?
I don't know.
Well, what is it training them for?
Well,
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like that.
Okay, well, Google hopes the steamy passages, such as the ones I just mentioned there, the Eve Monroe books, will help its AI to learn to be more human. The company's using romantic novels because the plots are usually very similar, but the authors use different words to tell their tales.
Right.
It's quite sexy. Andrew Dye, a Google software engineer who led the project, told BuzzFeed News, is very imaginative. In the Google app, the responses are very factual. The danger is that what happens? You got these robots then get this AI sentient. They're sentient.
Yeah.
And someone's hacked in. Some joker's hacked in, and just crammed it with let's face it. There's more than steamy novels on the internet. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, say you get one who's suddenly
Goes rogue.
No, just dominant.
Submissive.
Yeah, that wants to see you suffer.
Cosplay
Yeah,
robots.
deliberately just keeps messing up your computer. Just some sort of sadisado thing.
I'm waiting for the Ed 209 to say, I love you. You
Yeah.
have 20 seconds to
Comply. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Think of England. But the last thing you need is say your robot being a bit bi-curious around the house. Or sort of suddenly it just really freaks out when it sees uniforms. Someone's really gone far. Or you're ill and or in a hospital they're using lots of computer applications and say some joker's hacked in and made it obsessed with nurses.
Or some sexy little cyborg.
A little cyborg. And I think a new nickname is born, isn't it? It really is.
X.
This is Radio X.
Gav, you got some heroics for us?
I have, yeah.
Let's have our daily dose of heroism. Woodman. Woodman, tell me, speak ye of thy hero. Who is the best around?
We like an inventor.
I love inventors.
On the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing.
The 47, the Thang.
Gang.
Thanks.
digs and an inventor.
We do, yeah. Wow, we did a sentence between the three of us. It's getting quite
Yeah.
weird. So
It
it's
is
like
getting
really spooky triplets.
We'll be ordering each other's
Food next.
Yeah. Okay, today's hero, Johnny, is a man called Lester Allison.
Okay, tell me about Lester
And
Allison.
the reason I picked him is he is responsible for the least ever successful demonstration of a new invention.
Okay, Gav, this is a cricket box, right? I can
Yes.
say without cheese salading you.
Yes, it is.
But when you first told me I've got a story of a cricket box, I thought, the woodman has gone mad. He's done this before. And we all looked at each other and we were like, don't say it. Don't say it, because if your house, you won't want to know.
No, it's not the story of the man who had a cricket box that vibrated in a way that vibrated other cricket boxes to attract the attention of other gay men, which also happened to attract badgers,
Yes.
and that was its design flaw.
Yeah.
This is
'cause I
completely
thought you-
different.
I heard that again, actually, on one of our show, the preview things.
Yeah.
And it's great. I tell you something, it's a good show to listen to, this.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm not saying I enjoy listening myself because it was your story, but it was just you. But it was really funny, man. I was out there thinking, I never get to hear radio that good.
Anyway, in 2001, Lester Allison in South Africa invented a new cricket box. He was at a press conference and he said that it was equipped with, and I quote here, a system of coiled springs.
High risk strategy. Sure, there's one area of my body I never want highly coiled springs unless they're in a sofa.
Anyway, wearing only a jockstrap containing the box to provide a photo opportunity, he said, as you can see, it fits snugly over the groin, this new box of his.
Again, I don't like things that fit snugly over the groin.
He was now ready to face public scrutiny with his invention and invited the audience to throw cricket balls at him.
3 words: high risk strategy.
Wincing audibly as he was carried off to hospital only a few minutes later, he said there would now be a short delay for further research and development.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to it in the end, but I've got to give him credit
No,
for
the trouble-
being brave in a press conference.
No, it wasn't, Gav. It's just because the
idiot.
biggest... he's an idiot. He is an idiot, but the biggest fear of human beings standing out in public. And there's such an Australian sort of... Is he Kiwi Australian?
South African.
South Africa. Oh, it's even more macho. South Africa's the most macho... So the point is, he'd have known after ball one it was
Yeah.
pain. And he
No. He had tested it himself with a cricket bat, but
It's not the same.
I think he underestimated a stranger with a cricket ball
Yes, I think he
as
did,
a full test.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can't throw cricket balls at yourself, Gav. Your arm isn't long enough, and you can't. There's no simulation unless he's going to stick them all in one of those tennis ball machines and stand there.
Yeah.
But he'd have had to stand there for a while, thinking, "This really bloody hurts. This I've really
This
messed
is
up
not
this
a
time,
good
mate.
idea, hey?
This is not a good idea, hey?"
Lester Allison.
Lester Allison. For some reason, the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing salutes you. It is unclear why.
Johnny Vaughan.
X.
I've just got here, right in front of me, a story about, I think, the most extraordinary campaign ever to build excitement around a brand, and I'm quoting there.
Right.
Right.
This is you're not going to believe this. It's for KFC.
Right.
What do you think they've brought out since?
Oh, some new
A clock.
chicken, some that is like shaped in a
It's
funny
finger
way.
licking good.
They always change the
It's
shape
finger
of it.
licking good.
That's the thing.
It's
What's finger
they
licking
always
good?
Just change the shape. What do you think they always
Well, they
change?
just change
You
the
can't
shape
change the
of
shape
it.
of a chicken.
No, but they
They
change the
do.
shape of what they do
Oh
with
right,
the
okay.
chicken.
I thought you meant they changed
Yeah,
the shape
they-
of a chicken. I
Yeah,
thought
they
that's.
have
Then they
popcorn
rebrand
chicken
it as
and-
new
yeah.
thing, but it's
in
just
which-
essentially still the same chicken.
In which case, this would, if they changed the shape of a chicken, this wouldn't be the most exciting way to
that's
build
true.
excitement around a brand, because that would be extraordinary, like elephant-shaped chicken.
No, it's 8-legged chicken.
Yeah, an actual live chicken with a trunk, feathered trunk.
Chicken the shape of a bucket.
Chicken.
Yeah, chicken. What? Actually, a chicken that's already comes in a bucket. It's made in a bucket.
Can't be that far
Bucket-shaped chicken. A boneless blob. Just a they've developed a boneless chicken.
They fill
You
them well.
plant an egg in the ground and it just grows.
In a bucket.
It's one up from a plant. No, I tell you what it is.
So what have they done?
Edible nail polish.
Edible.
So we talk about KFC still?
Yes, the slogan "finger licking good" remains as synonymous as Colonel Sanders himself. Can I say, fellas, if ever you are stuck for what to wear for fancy dress, always go as Colonel Sanders. It's just awesome. You've got one suit you wear. Everyone loves you. You go in with the bucket. It's just awesome.
They
You feel
love
like
you.
a god. And you can pick up the suits online for nothing.
Really?
Yeah, no one wants white frock coats.
No.
You know, it's like real. Not even in the days of Gazza's wedding.
And a
people
black
going for that.
necktie.
Yeah, you're going back to Gazza's ushers.
Right.
Anyway, a range of edible nail polish in 2 classic KFC flavours.
What, barbecue sauce or something?
Yep. A bright orange polish in hot and spicy, and a beige colour in the original flavour.
What, the flavour of the chicken coating?
Yes.
Does it come off then?
I love the way you're so... I can't get me... To use, consumers simply apply dry like regular nail polish and then lick again and again and again. Your fingers then taste of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh.
Wow.
You know that taste you lick to get it off?
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
That's it. It's been developed for Hong Kong. But I think if you're out for the night and just out of the... If you were just escorting a lady around town...
Yes.
And suddenly some KFC nail varnish just dropped out that bag. You'd think, what kind of girl? What kind of girl, Wes? The implications. I can't think. If you can think of anything less classy to have in your handbag.
Sillet bang eyelashes.
All right then. Mr. Sheen deodorant.
X.
Sunta, have you always been drawn to reckless men?
What are you saying about
No,
my
do you love a loon?
Yeah, I think so.
The way you said that was like, yeah, I messed up, Mom. But Mom, you haven't been on the back of his motorbike.
Motorcycle.
I love the way you go. It's the one thing I'd love to be able to say. Go on, say it again, Gav.
Motorcycle. You don't touch another man's motorcycle.
Why? He's been making me laugh for years with that. I still can't do it. Anyway, here we go. I've just read an article in the paper. It's really good. Sorry, online.
Yeah.
I just made myself sound more modern. What do you... actually, I slightly resent this, incidentally, in the Times. Could we write assuming, you know, our reader could be a man or a woman? Because I think this is rather presumptive. But let's just assume that we can't make this... Are you ready for this?
Go on.
This is how the article opens. What do you find most attractive in a man? You see, me as a reader or nothing. But they've already excluded me. I'm just saying you can't open like that.
No.
That's not proper
You just gotta
journalism.
move on,
Exactly, you got to move on. Yeah, exactly right. But I just felt like I was just being slightly, what do you find most attractive in a man? A good sense of humour? That's a myth, isn't it?
Is it?
Ain't got me out.
it's
Ain't got
not
me
a
anywhere.
myth.
It depends. Depends when they laugh. No, because I'm just saying it's not good during when you're having a bit of nookie. That's not a time I want to be known as funny.
Yeah, no, timing is everything in
when I
comedy and lovemaking.
Absolutely right. Well, no, here's the deal. We've all got, everyone has that sort of sexy voice you put on.
I don't put on a sexy voice.
No, you everyone slightly put. Well, you just talk like you do normally, like you're decorating.
I talk like a voiceover man,
Yes.
John.
That feels great, love. Anyway, eyes you can get lost in.
Right.
The smell of whiskey and tobacco on his breath. You see, I'm very much C and D in those ones.
Okay.
I'm none of the above.
Yeah.
Because a study has found that reckless young men who smoke and drink are more attractive to women, but only for one-night stands, which is great because that's all they want.
Yep, that makes sense.
Where has this research come from?
I tell you where, Evelyn Vink. Do you not know Evelyn Vink?
No.
Well, Evelyn Vink has been researching at Ghent University, and she argues that women have been seduced by edgy behaviour since the era of the caveman. I tell you why.
Why?
Because they reckon that hunting demanded more risk-taking, signalling to the opposite sex that the man could be a good provider. But here's the deal. In the long term, men like that get chucked. Because the chances are they're going to get killed by a lion or something.
They're not a good prospect.
Yeah, they're not a good prospect for the future.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But in the long term, riskiness is seen as a negative trait, and it reduces a male's chances of survival, and that sort of lowers his value as a mate because he's not going to be there.
So
what's
an
what's
explanation for cavemen one-night stands?
I don't know if cavemen
It
were
looks
having
that
one-night
way.
stands, kids. Why do you want to get involved with all
No,
that?
but that just sounds like...
Are you going to start hanging around caves?
Is that a new club?
Where's Sunta gone? She's gone potholing again. You're kidding me? No, she does that every weekend now. Don't get involved with potholers. They're very different from cavemen. I'm just saying, I'll say the opposite.
D-O-X. Johnny Vaughan Radio.
Sunta, you got any plans over the weekend that might be exciting?
I plan to christen. I think that's the right word.
Well, it depends what you're going to talk about. We couldn't know that. If you're about to say buying a fridge, then no.
AstroTurf.
Oh, for your roof garden.
What are you going to call it?
I don't know. But
Are you naming the AstroTurf? Because that's a christening.
Yeah.
This is my AstroTurf. This is Anthony. Tony.
Yeah, have a few drinks on it to celebrate its new arrival.
83936. What should Sunta call her new AstroTurf?
It should be sponsored like a football stadium.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
What do you like? The King,
Sunta Bowl.
The King Power.
Yeah.
Terrace.
Yeah.
Gav, any plans?
Yeah,
Gav,
I'm going to a wedding.
Are you?
Yeah.
So we got a christening and a wedding.
Yes, I'm going to my brother's.
I was going to say, is it a wedding or is it like the opening of your shed?
No, I'm not getting married to my shed.
You've got some new tools and you're going to use them. It's a marriage, John.
Yeah, that's right.
Whose wedding is it?
My brother's.
Which brother?
Duncan.
Hey, I can't get him.
Congratulations, Duncan and
Duncan
Georgette.
came to mine. I've got him on film.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Well, what's the deal there then?
A tiny, tiny little wedding.
And just like yours.
Yes.
The Woodses are
so
really sneaky.
small that no one came.
How many brothers and sisters you got?
I've got 4 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
So with family
9
alone,
of them in all.
Family alone, we had about 40 people at my wedding.
Yeah. He keeps the numbers down. But it's funny because we don't tend to keep the numbers down when Gav and his brother come to ours.
That's
I'm just saying it's odd, isn't it? Because I've got you on film still of you and your brother
You do.
really enjoying yourselves at mine and really drinking.
Do you know what? It was a really good wedding, your wedding.
It was a lovely wedding,
It
yes.
was just
Yeah,
spectacular.
you should have been there.
It was a little bit hot.
Yeah, it was very hot.
You could have been a bit more considerate with the heat.
It was more uncomfortable at the divorce, Gav. Should have been at that one. It was a cracking afternoon. Again, that was a small gathering. I didn't invite you. I left you and your brother out.
Was it as expensive as the wedding?
Yeah, much more expensive. Considering the numbers, I've got to tell you.
The numbers.
And funny, it wasn't like we were catering for many. I've got to tell you, it was just 2 of us. But it turns out the barristers were very greedy at the bar. Ironically.
X.
That was the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We enjoyed as much as we enjoyed making it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do.
We do it in a shed after
Yeah,
the
we
week.
do it. We do it. Yeah, we make it.
We stick it all together.
stick it all
Well, no, what we do is we make little Si make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all stand there while he does
With
it.
pointy sticks.
Yeah, just jabbing him.
With pointy sticks that have been put in poo.
Oh,
Well, I'm only being honest.
far.
Well, that wasn't that bad.
Sunta, it was
Because
your
it
idea,
was your
Sunta.
idea to do it.
everyone.
It was your idea. I didn't even want to go with the doggy do.
I thought she'd gone too far.
I
there.
think she
But
did.
then I ended up enjoying
Seriously.
it a bit.
No, but rolling the pointy sticks around a litter tray.
I know.
That was a bit much.
Yeah.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.